Yo, today we get the last good Raiders team. Gonna like, comment, subscribe, grind, educate your 1 mil.
I have only ever seen one good football team that the Raiders have fielded, and that
I have only seen one too. I am a Raiders fan. I'm a little tired, sorry. But I am a Raiders fan. Where is mine? So I seen them play the Indianapolis Colts and I got this hat. I liked it because I saw John Gruden wear it. I thought it was a pretty cool hat. So, yeah.
team was the 2016 Raiders.
That's the only team I ever seen that was pretty good.
I have
Latavius Murray, Derek Carr. I think he had Michael Crabtree.
Far the most fun I've ever had as a Raiders fan. Don't get me wrong, but 2016.
I think we even had Charles Woodson.
Not an ideal time to be a Bay Area sports fan. So
I was a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. I was a Cavaliers fan, so I was happy. I'm a LeBron James fan.
I don't know what else to say.
For me.
You clicked on this video, you know what you're about to get. Just let a Raiders fan laugh, smile, and cry about the 2016 Raiders for about 2
Oh,
minutes.
that was a good team.
So without further ado, let's get into it. So during this time in my life, I was a wee lad in about 6th grade. And for some reason,
I think I was like, damn, 6th grade, bro, was making me feel old. I think I was like, so I was a sophomore.
Going to every single Raiders
Damn,
as a wee
bro.
lad in about 6th grade.
6th grade, bro, I was a sophomore. What the fuck?
For some reason, I loved going to
crazy.
every single Raiders home game. I mean, for the last few years, I've been absolutely tortured at this point, being forced to watch our tank commanders, Clive Wolford and T.J. Carey, lead us into battle.
Bro, it makes me feel old.
For us to completely fumble every draft pick that landed in our greasy
Or
pockets.
just trade them away.
But experts, including myself, actually thought the Raiders were building something. Despite only going 7-9 in 2015 and being the worst team in football in the 4th quarter, we had a good offseason. Since we were actually trying to make a bit of a run, we signed Reggie Nelson, a Pro Bowl
That was a
safety
great pick up.
from Cincinnati. Sean Smith, a Pro Bowl
Dude, I remember we were just signing players I was like, dude, this is the, I was like, oh shit.
from Kansas City, Kelechi Osemele, a cobblestone
Perfect.
at guard, and Bruce Irvin, an edge rusher with Super Bowl DNA. And although Charles Woodson called it a career, this Raiders team scarily
Oh yeah, it was like a year before.
not really have any holes. Khalil Mack
year
and
after.
Derek Carr
Called the
were
career.
draft buddies from the 2014 class.
Yeah, Khalil Mack.
And they were clearly the 2 best players in the team. And just the thought of them even taking another step forward in their development was...
And the fact that they traded Khalil Mack.
It was a lot to take in. But still, I mean, come on now. I'm a Raiders fan, so the hype can't really exist, right? I mean, yes,
Nope.
Deep down, I wanted to give in and be like, yup, ain't nobody f***ing with us. The Raiders are going to the Super Bowl. But, like...
Never said that.
Yes, I was like 12, but I was smart enough to not have hope. But man, this team...
But the team was looking good.
different. And just looking back at the schedule, the amount of core football memories this team gave...
I'll even prove it. It's a little big, but... We got a Cooper jersey when he was with the Raiders, man. Shit was sad, bro. Shit was sad, bro. Had this one. Fucking retarded. Never get yourself a Raider jersey. Never. Ever get yourself a Raider jersey. Devontae Adams, I still want that fade, bro. Fuck you. Fuck you. That you were the last player that would leave us. And we got Devontae Adams. Bro. You now get yourself a Raiders jersey, bro. Some bullshit, bro. Fucking bullshit. Bullshit.
in this season alone is why this team will always be so special to me. And that started all the way back in just week 1, when the tone for the season was set.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Week 1. The Oakland Raiders go on the road to face the New Orleans Saints.
Versus Drew Brees.
And Drew Brees. Now,
They would compare
the Saints
Derek
have
Carr
been
to
one of
Drew
the most
Brees.
high-powered offenses pretty much ever for the last couple of seasons, and Drew Brees didn't look like he was going to be slowing down anytime soon. So,
Nope.
you know, on the road, I wasn't really expecting anything much, maybe a 10-point loss, but honestly, I was just hoping for a competitive game. But man, I mean, this game turned out to be one of my favorite Raider games that I've ever watched. One of those games where you remember exactly where you were, who you were watching it with, and this game just built character. And the Raiders were back, baby. Let's go! Look at that, man. Look at that jump. It's probably hard for some of y'all to comprehend what you just saw, but yep, that's Derek Carr. DC made that play.
DC.
I feel like from there, after that play, the offense was like, okay, yeah, this is a guy that we can ride for. But in the Big Easy, the Raiders were going to need more than just spirit to show that they could compete with a prime Drew Brees. The offense did have firepower with Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper being a top 5 receiver duo all season.
At the time.
The train was still going strong, and of all people, a little-known rookie by the name of Jalen Richard kept us in this game.
Jalen Richard.
Run, and I just lost my mind when it happened. Oh my God, we might do it. Drew Brees has 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, and this ragtag squad was right there. It was supposed to take weeks to build up chemistry, but with the help of a penalty, we had 6 minutes to go down the field and score to tie it. And Carr just made
Amari Cooper.
4th down and 5. Carr drops
Coop.
and another penalty. Let's go. We got another chance. All right. now we got it, okay? Seth Roberts, my savior, my GOAT for the touchdown.
Seth Roberts.
Seth Roberts was pretty much like the OG.
He's underrated.
Hunter Renfrow, for those of you who don't know who he is. You don't
I know he was.
Trust me. But he was also somehow like the most reliable and
He was reliable.
least reliable player I've ever watched. But this was it. Down 33-34 with seconds left. We made the call that decided basically how we were going to treat the season. What type of team were we going to be? Were we going to be, a little bitch and kick the PAT, or go for 2? And we went for it.
For
and
2.
The legend of the 2016 Raiders
Michael Crabtree
was born. I was elated, running around my room screaming. I was like, wait a minute. Am I watching a good football team?
For real.
Not even allowed in the 10 Commandments. It was absurd. And we ended up holding on to win. I just watched a full football game involving a good team. And I had fun. I was so confused, but fuck it. Next week was going to be another huge test. So I needed to calm down because we were back in Oaktown in the Coliseum facing the Atlanta Falcons. And with Kyle Shanahan, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and more, this offense would become the best offense in the entire league with the MVP and Matt Ryan. But, how would they do on the old baseball field, huh? That's the real test. Well, sadly, it ended up going pretty well for them. But the thing with this game was the Falcons looked great, and we should have won. Our special teams was popping off this game. Marquette King and Sebastian Janikowski was
I remember Marquette King was a GOAT.
A beautiful combo. And on defense, we held Atlanta to just 3 points for almost the whole first half. And we could have taken a larger lead too, but for some reason, the whole game plan revolved around Clyde Wolford.
Clyde Wolford.
That old man. The game was tied in the 4th quarter, and we kept scoring points. We clearly belonged with this team that would go on to make the Super Bowl, and the game-changing play would happen when a tipped ball was caught in the end zone. So,
oh my God.
Okay, yeah, we lost, but the penalties didn't go our way as usual, and we got decently unlucky. So, whatever. We bounced back the next week versus the Titans, despite Carr playing a pretty poor game, but we couldn't keep pulling off close wins like this versus the Saints if we want to be an elite team, right? Well, we kind of just kept it going. I don't know how, but the wins kept coming in. Week
We did.
4. Here we are again. Another massive matchup on the road this time versus the undefeated Ravens, and we showed up again, bro. Once again, I can't emphasize enough how not normal this was. We always fold early in the season when we have expectations. Every single goddamn time. But we were straight up piling it on the Flacco. Up 14-3 almost before the half. And
yes, sir.
After Crabtree's second touchdown, we looked like legitimately a much better team than Baltimore on the road. Still. But unfortunately, though, we...
Turnovers, mistakes.
Raiders still. But now here we are again. Derek Carr with another chance to lead a comeback. It was Carr, Cooper, and Crabtree versus the world for yet another week. And facing an elite defense in Baltimore, our odds weren't looking good, but damn it, man, this is why football is football.
This
And
was one of the greatest moments.
again, Derek Carr and Crabtree showed up huge. 3 tutties for Crabtree, man, and he toasted his man. Once again, Little Tub Frog is at home sprinting around the house, and we won again. Holy f***, we're actually so back. We're hitting hard with Reggie Nelson and rookie Carl Joseph. We got bullies in Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin. Carr's looking like a top 5 quarterback, and it might happen. I might see a playoff team. We handily
We
beat
might
the
just go to the playoffs.
Chargers in week 5, and all of a sudden we were actually getting some hype. And since, you know, we're the Raiders and usually don't exist to the rest of the NFL as anything other than a punching bag, people actually were saying, hey, that'd be pretty cool if the Raiders were actually good. But at the same time, I mean, we weren't like a real threat so far.
We weren't the best.
Been allowing the most yards in the entire league at this point and allowing damn near 30 points a game. How much longer could we keep winning off of miracles? It turns out still a little bit longer. After a fluky game versus the Chiefs where Hall of Famer Spencer Ware ran for 130 on us, we beat
130?
down the Jaguars with Marquette King's 4th and 24 conversion, and we beat a bad team. We actually beat a bad team. That
5-2. Wow, I've never seen the Raiders
happens
that
for
good.
us. And then we played another road game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Jameis Winston. And let me tell you about a football game, all right? This team was just so fun, but my blood pressure did not always appreciate the ride it took to get there. This Bucs team was not good, but early on, it looked like
They were fighting.
finally things were coming back down to earth for us. We were getting buried by penalties, and we're down 10-0, but then James Olawale had other plans. It only led to a field goal, but we kept battling slowly, staying in the game, and Donald Penn even got a touchdown too. The goated Madden tight end, I guess, got the score, and we were still in it. Khalil Mack was pretty much outplaying Tampa's offense alone, but we just couldn't overcome the penalties. We had 23 penalties
Damn.
in this game. The most ever in a game since 2010, and we were winning. I mean, it was wild. Literally, there was a penalty on every single play for us. This was one of the longest games I've ever watched.
Raider things.
And it was the same situation in the end as the Saints game. We needed to go down the field on the road and get exactly a touchdown. And that's what DC did. That's what he did all year. He was absolutely dialed in. Amari Cooper mossed a dude. And then on
Yes, sir.
4th down with the game on the line, hearts racing, on the edge of my seat, we scored. And instead decided to
Woo!
play it a little conservative and send it to overtime. The aggression wasn't needed here because, I mean, we were playing against ourselves basically at this point and had
Yep.
a chance to win it in regulation, but Amari Cooper dropped an easy pass. Janikowski missed the kick, but this was all completely planned by the football gods. Penalties, penalties, penalties continued to just absolutely destroy
us.
We missed another kick, and now we had to go get a field goal to win it. And Carr remained unstoppable on this day, but Flag set up a 4th down and
4th and 35.
I'm thinking of buying a house.
A house?
By yourself?
Are you sure?
I don't know anyone that owns a house. It's a
Seth Roberts
Comes
called
in clutch.
game. I was losing it. I was absolutely losing it. We were undefeated on the road, and we were pretty much the most fun team in the NFL.
We're
People
looking
started
good.
loving us. We were underdogs. We were dark horse contenders. Now giving the Patriots a scare. I mean, this seemed like a team that could beat the 85 Bears, and also, at the same time, probably lose to the Browns. We were
For real.
We were dangerous. We were Super Bowl contenders. Khalil Mack skyrocketed in the Defensive Player of the Year award race, and Derek Carr the same for the MVP. And we just kept going. 1 week later versus the defending Super Bowl champion Broncos, our division rival, we blew them out. Our home field advantage was insane. Like, I'm serious. I was at this game, and Trevor Siemian looked terrified out there. And I don't know how else to say it, man, but we just had aura. We had weapons everywhere. And after beating another playoff team in Houston, it was time for another heavyweight matchup in O.co, as the Carolina Panthers and the reigning MVP in Cam Newton would come to town. Once again, at this point, we were a top 5 team in the league. We were 8-2, had the leading
Damn.
MVP candidate damn near, and the leading Defensive Player of the Year candidate. This team was absolutely magical, and the legend of the 2016 Raiders was not going to stop there. Versus the Panthers, we just put on a show, obliterating Cam in the first half, capped off by another core memory for me with Khalil Mack getting a pick six. But of course, nothing's easy.
My core memory was when Khalil Mack got like 6 or 7 sacks in one game versus
The
the
Panthers
Broncos.
came roaring back, but Khalil Mack,
That was, like,
man,
perfect.
I miss him so much.
I miss him too.
He saved our ass like 50
He did. What the fuck, Raiders?
times this season, and the pressure got to Cam, and we were now 9-2. So it wasn't even December, and this was already the most wins I've ever seen in a season in my life. I was in. I bought into the hype. We were right behind Dallas, ranked as the best team
Damn.
in the league, overtaking New England in the eyes of most. Derek Carr was not only looking like the MVP, but he was the best clutch quarterback in the league. Behind a top 5 offensive line with Rodney Hudson and Kelechi Osemele, our offense
Oh, I missed that.
erupt for 30 on any given game.
That was our best team right
Again,
here.
we began to slip a little bit. We
I
needed
don't know how good we had it.
to hold on to end the season to take the 2 seed because Kansas City was right there, but they beat us again in Arrowhead as Derek Carr's nightmare versus Kansas City.
I hate Kansas City.
Kind of never went away. Seriously, for quarterbacks, there is no player right now with a worse winning percentage versus any team than Carr versus the Chiefs. But that's a story for another time, because we're here to celebrate, okay?
Yikes.
I'm so happy. I'm here to be happy, and happy I was back then, because 1 week later, the Raiders faced off against the San Diego Chargers and had a chance to clinch the playoffs. That word, it was just so foreign to me.
It was right
And so
there.
I
It
took
was
a
right
pilgrimage to the
there.
gorgeous city of San Diego and got to experience the San Diego Chargers in their last year of existence, hoping that we could pull out a win and I could watch my team make the playoffs for the first and, you know what, damn near probably the last time of my life. It wasn't looking good though.
Good ass.
I mean, for some reason, Travis Benjamin literally just torched us every single time we played him, so we fell behind early, but we were the better team. That was such a strange feeling that I remember actually having in the moment. Knowing that we were better, that we should be able to pull it off. I mean, hell, this was basically a home game, too, for us. There were significantly more Raiders fans at that game than Chargers fans, and I remember being surprised to even see a Chargers fan sitting in front of me. However, those Charger fans were about to leave that stadium happy, or at least
Oh, man.
it was looking like that was going to happen. We couldn't get anything going, but Crabtree made a huge play before the half and scored. But of course, it had to happen again. This team was great, but they just could never win easy. Tie game, 16-all with minutes remaining in the fourth, and then on 3rd and 8, it happened. Derek Carr scrambled, pumped his fist, and I felt it. I felt like that was the play that was going to do it. Sebastian Janikowski knocked down the kick, Bruce Irvin made a play, and Reggie Nelson got a game-ending pick, and we made the playoffs. The
Made history.
stadium erupted, and everything was worth it. Everyone was hugging each other, and the 13-year drought
Was done.
had ended. Once again, it felt amazing. I will never be able to just experience that feeling again of being like, I can't believe it. My team is actually doing something
Going to the playoffs.
positive. It was amazing. And we were 11-3. So now all of a sudden my brain was thinking, okay, we're in the playoffs, but
We're in here.
could I go to a playoff game? Because at this point, all we had to do was win out, and the Chiefs couldn't do anything. We would be able to host a playoff game in the divisional round, and the stadium would have been popping. It would have been amazing. And even just for a brief moment, with just all the magical stuff that had been happening all season, the Bucs game, the Saints game, the Panthers game, the Ravens game, I was thinking, Super Bowl? Could we win a Super Bowl? I mean, the Raiders in the Super Bowl? Doesn't that just sound like the natural
That just sounds like crazy.
order of the universe would invert on itself and like Yellowstone would erupt or something to
For real.
stop that from happening? Because honestly, I think that would happen. But now I could kind of watch stress-free football, sort of, because the two teams left on our schedule were both teams that were not going to make the postseason in Indianapolis and Denver. And on Christmas Eve, I walked into the stadium with a sense of confidence and a feeling like my team was on top of the world. And that was the problem. I let my guard down. I was young, naive.
You didn't
Foolish.
know.
I smiled. I don't know why I did that. And what awaited for me was one of the worst nights of my life. I have had some rough nights since then. I've been hurt, trust me, but I'm dead serious. Still to this day, I've never felt my heart just sink into my socks like what happened on December 24th, 2016.
What, Derek Carr breaks his leg?
We had everything. It was perfect. We had a great chance at a Super Bowl run. And remember, I was thinking about the future. We had a young potential MVP candidate at quarterback. We had the Defensive Player of the Year in Khalil Mack. He was going to be a Raider forever. We had a defense that made
He
plays
should have been a Raider forever.
needed. A three-headed run game, sort of, but it was all taken away on one play. Derek Carr went down with a...
Why did they even play him?
season-ending injury in garbage time. And the words, "it broke," still just cut me to my core even right now. The game was over, man. We won. He didn't need to be out there, but he was. And the next decade of Raiders football would be changed forever. MVP Derek Carr fell down on that field that day, and he would never return. And that was it.
And he would never be the same.
Matt McGloin finished the game because, of course he did. Why the not? And after losing our quarterback and our soul, we dropped the final game of the season to the Broncos. And instead of getting a bye in a home playoff game with our MVP quarterback, we had to go on the road in Houston to play against J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney.
With Jared Cook as our quarterback.
Rookie quarterback in Connor Cook. But I had already
Connor Cook, worse.
checked out. I'm going to be honest, I quit. The season ended the day Carr went down. This team thrived on pure vibes. The energy was electric all year long, and everyone rallied around Carr. So when he went down, the team stopped believing. And you know, as much as you don't want to say it, they were right. Yeah, they didn't believe, but what was there to believe in anymore? Connor Cook? No, and that was it.
No.
2016 Raiders season, the best season
done.
of my life I've ever witnessed, ended on a cold day in Oakland versus the Colts, but was finally concluded when we fell to Brock Osweiler in the playoffs. The ultimate humiliation. And that was it. We never recovered from there. Derek Carr could barely take a snap in 20...
Man. Get this shit off me, man. Get this bullshit off. Like, comment, whatever you want to do. I'm out. I'm out, man.
Bye, have a great time.